Oh guys, listen up.
It's Crash Bandicoot!
Crash Bandit Cunt is a game that is harder than Dark Souls. With the recent release of the Spyro Reignited trilogy and that being one of my favourite childhood games of all time, I wanted to talk about another set of childhood games. Yes, Crash Bandicoot! I love Crash Bandicoot too much. I have never gotten sick of these games even though I've played them for over a decade. The Crash games are too addictive and too well crafted. The N.Sane trilogy is definitely in my top 5 favourite games of all time. And while the first game may be controller throwingly, keyboard smashingly frustrating at times, the game drives you to keep playing and to not give up. While being infamous for having precise and hardcore platforming, the game is so memorable, and some of the levels stand out because of this. So I thought, why not go over my top 5 favourite levels from each game in the original trilogy.
By the way, this is my opinion and not yours, so leave your opinion in the comments, you bastards!
3 levels that didn't make it into the list is The Lab, Fumbling in the Dark, and Castle Machinery. Also, I'm playing on the N.Sane trilogy because the original looks icky. Hold on, wait. I kinda like the high road.
Wait a second, let me explain!
I explained it in the intro that some levels, while being frustrating as hell, it pushes you to complete it instead of just giving up. The high road, while being ridiculously hard, especially in the N.Sane trilogy where doing the other method where you walk on the ropes might as well be just as hard as playing the level normally, you still don't want to give up, you just want to keep going until you finish the level. The quirky atmosphere plus all the levels' unique platforming makes this one of the most enjoyable levels in the first Crash game. This level wasn't even that hard in the original Crash. The reason why this level is so infamous is because the N.Sane trilogy used a different style of jumping and getting momentum. Combining that with the original design of the level doesn't really sit well together. Half the level doesn't even make any sense. With all those gravity-defying turtles and hogs that make you want to say,
You stupid bitch.
and those invisible platforms that don't even make a bit of sense. However, that is only optional if you wish to get all the boxes. But you don't want to play the level normally. Look, get all the boxes, you get a gem, it looks pretty! And the fucking relic on the N.Sane trilogy, I can't get the fucking platinum relic. I try doing the level normally, I try walking on the ropes, I don't see how I can get a quicker time. Update, after making this, I actually got the platinum relic. You proud of me, mum? That plus the fact that you can't die once with no checkpoints, yeah, fuck this game. I'm gonna play There's a Genie in my Szechuan sauce. Crash Bandicoot is known for having branching paths throughout their levels. Well, Cortex Power has branching paths upon branching paths. Cortex Power is one of the first levels in the original Crash which starts the industrial factory-like levels in Crash's Adventure. So the concept is pretty cool, with Crash invading Cortex's factories and that eventually leading to the castle. This level has some cool platforming moments which really relies on timing and not rushing. Trying to get all the boxes does take some effort as you will have to acquire a gem from another level and requires you to learn each branching path as you will need to go back and forth with a camera that doesn't like to show you what's coming towards you when you're walking towards it. But I really enjoy the level because of this. Just trying to learn where all the boxes are and not trying to go too fast towards the camera. The aesthetics are also great. The green septic color of all the toxic waste produces a really nice glow and those fire pipes. Man, they just look really good. I don't know, I really like this level. Toxic Waste is probably the most linear level in Crash history. The level is legit just a straight line. I'd say that Toxic Waste is one of the coolest looking levels in the N.Sane trilogy. And I mentioned that in Cortex Power, the glow of the Toxic Waste looked really cool. This whole level was basically just that. This level's platforming is so simple yet awesome. As you progress through the level, it gets progressively harder. With simple and timed obstacles first, that turns into obstacles that you can't even tell how close they are to you due to the camera angle. You know how in the original Crash, the level required you to get a gem by not dying and grabbing all the boxes? In the N.Sane trilogy, they decided to change it so you could die as much times as you want, but you still had to get all the boxes. Well, this is a colored gem stage, so even in the remake you can't die, and you still have to get all the boxes. Good job, Vicarious Visions. Yeah, not too much to say about this level. It's simple, yes, but it's so unique in the way it's presented, and it also looks awesome. Of course this level is going to be in the list. Hog Wild and Whole Hog. And Wild Hogs. All the Crash games do have their animal riding levels, and all of them are very well designed and very memorable. But due to how obnoxious the music is and how fast paced the levels are, Hog Wild and Whole Hog are some of the most memorable levels in the original Crash. The theme to both those levels are some of the most over-the-top and wacky tracks in the original soundtrack. I just love how fast-paced these levels are, and there is so much obstacles and jumps you have to do. Hold on a second, why is there a Bandicoot riding a hog through a native village full of poles full of spikes and bottomless pits while dead hogs are spinning right before the hog's eyes, and why do the natives have shields and why are they strafing from each side? This level feels like a drug trip. While there are no secret routes and special ways to get the boxes to fully complete these levels, getting the boxes isn't that easy due to the hitbox being quite small, and this part right here, while these levels are amazing, I feel like they could be a bit longer. Without a shadow of a doubt, definitely the most fun levels in the original Crash, but not my favorite. Time for unpopular opinions, everyone. My favorite level in Crash Bandicoot 1 is the absolute hardest level in Crash Bandicoot history, Stormy Ascent. I really like this level. This level is so fucking hard that I had to remove it from the original game, which is just like removing vomit from a pile of shit because it tastes bad. The game's already ridiculously hard. You know what though? I am so glad that they removed this from the original game. And I'm also so glad that they put this as an optional level in the N.Sane trilogy. Imagine trying to get all the boxes without dying once on this level in the original. Excluding Stormy Ascent, I don't think the High Road is the hardest level in the original Crash. The two hardest levels for me had to be Sunset Vista and Slippery Climb. The platforming on both of those levels are so precise and you must have really fast reaction times to some parts of those levels. Stormy Ascent is basically just Slippery Climb on steroids. Stormy Ascent is all about patience and learning how each platforming task on the level works before jumping on any obstacle the level throws at you. Because if you try and do that, then fuck! This is why I love Stormy Ascent. All the platforming is very fair. And while some platforms tend to trick you, like with this specific platform making you think you have to jump and then coming to a stop, this level is very fair with its platforming. Even with the bonus Nitrous Brio stage. It's definitely tough, yes, but all you have to do to get all the boxes in the area is to just learn the best way to get through the level and not just do it aggressively. What else should I say about Stormy Ascent? Wait, play that clip from earlier. Stormy Ascent is all about patience and learning how each platforming task on the level works before jumping on any obstacle the level throws at you. Well, me, not for doing the time trial. Fuck the time trial. Getting the gold relic on Stormy Ascent is one of my biggest gaming accomplishments to date. Because to do this, you need to remember every single platforming method at each part of the level. Meaning that for specific points you will have to remember when to rush, when to wait, how many times to wait, and many other things which will eventually confuse you and make you choke many times throughout the level. And after death, I finally got the gold relic and gathered up about 5 to 6 hours of footage of me just trying and dying. I knew what I had to do, but due to the amount of shit you have to remember, I kept confusing myself at certain points of the level. The original Crash game is not a game that's meant to be rushed, and getting the time relic on Stormy Ascent forces you to do so. Plus the fact that dying brings you back to the start of the level makes this a more annoying experience. While the time trials are completely optional, for the main levels it isn't that bad. Stormy Ascent, however, it just doesn't work. Nevertheless though, Stormy Ascent is such a cleverly designed level that pushes you to finish it, and this is my favorite level in the original Crash. Not the funnest, but my favorite. So that's it. Crash Bandicoot 1 definitely has some interesting levels, but the thing is about Crash 1 is that the game was purely made for hardcore platforming. It wasn't until the second and third entry where Naughty Dog decided to have some fun in the games and make some really cool levels with different vehicles and awesome and unique settings. And because of that, doing a top 5 levels on Crash 2 and Crash Warped are going to be a lot tougher as there are so many cool levels. You guys let me know what your favorite levels in Crash 1 are. As always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and comment any suggestions for future episodes and I'll talk to you in the next Crash video. See you later.
Son of a bitch!